but not least, we will now look at one company that started small and has managed to wiggle through. And I see you already here, Thibaut Labonde. Hello, thank you for coming. Is it working? No? I think it's working now.
Hello.
Yes, hello. Yes. Good afternoon, how are you?
Very good. Thank you, Lisa, for inviting me.
Well, I'm delighted to have you. We are delighted to have you. Now, you are Offshore Development Manager at Qair. The company,
Good
right?
pronunciation.
Yeah, I practice at home. Now, the company now has 600 staff, but in 2017, you started with only 20 employees. What's your secret? How did you grow so fast?
Well, rapid growth in 2017, the story, we were the company Quadrant, developing renewable projects for almost 20 years. And by 2017, we sold all our projects, solar and wind, to Direct Energy and then Total Energy. So by 2018, we had a very relatively small staff and a very limited number of projects. So our founder, Jean-Marc Boucher, decided to invest in different geographies and develop new projects. So we had the chance to grow significantly, and among this pipeline, we have a few offshore projects. Among them, the Qair pilot wind farm in the Mediterranean Sea. You may have heard about it. It's 3 turbines of 10 megawatts and on barge floaters. So we are currently building them and hopefully to put them at sea in 2025.
You have a pipeline of 30 gigawatt now, right? What other projects are in the mix?
So these 30 megawatts include all technologies, meaning solar, onshore wind, offshore wind, and hydrogen. Most of them are today in Brazil or in Europe. And we had a non-competition clause in France, so now we have a small pipeline of projects in our home country. But we are slowly building it, and hopefully we'll have... today we have 1.2 gigawatt in operation, and we hope to have 3 gigawatt in operation by 2035.
All right. And you told me when we spoke earlier that you actually think being a small, well, let's say smallish player is an advantage or can be an advantage in this market, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it can be. It's not easy, for sure, but one of our strengths is agility. We are able to move fast, and when we think about, and when we believe in a technology, this is what happened with the project Theolmed in 2016. At this time, the ADEME launched a call for project, and we were the first ones, together with EOLFI, to really believe in floating wind, and we won that pilot projects. Then came Ocean Winds and EDF on the 2 others. So we were quite fast to answer and present a project and to win it. You don't see the image, but I have another example with the project Flowat. So Flowat is one of the first tidal projects in France. So we are developing this project together with HydroQuest and CMN. And so it's off the coast of the Indera Blanchard, and these are 7 turbines under the sea. And we took it over from EDF in 2021. They wanted to give it up because the technology was not mature, and it's still not mature. But we took the bet, and we finalized the development, and now we are working on the financing of such a project. So it's always a matter of trying to find the good partners who believe in the technology, motivate all the stakeholders, politicals, the industry associations also, to set up a good scheme so that this pilot project can be realized and just are the spark of development of a new technology. So obviously, with Flowatt, we expect not to have only 17 megawatts in operation, but just the first project of a few giga afterwards.
As you said, as a smallish player, you're more agile, you're more flexible, but there need to be tenders that allow for that, right? What kind of conditions need to be met?
Innovation. So when the technology is not mature, usually the big players are waiting to see the first pilot project. So at this time, we come and we try to make them happen. And then, if you think about offshore, obviously you have different tender schemes. Some of them are more in favor of small developers. If you take the example of ScotWind, where you had plenty of different areas, so the chance even for small developers to win a few areas. And we had the chance to win 2 areas of 1 gigawatt, because we were among the first movers to look at ScotWind. And to be qualified and to have the opportunity to develop on these areas, you had to present a concept. So a first draft of a project. And the selection criteria was not only counting on price, but more the project you want to build in this place. So these are usually tender schemes which are at least positive for us, while other tender schemes sometimes only are on price, and we cannot compete with the big players. So France, for me, stands in the middle. Price is very important. Still, you have non-price criteria, and we hope and are working really to make sure that these non-price criteria count and are beneficial to the territory, to the environment. So I hope that at some point they will make the difference in the future tenders.
And I understand players like Qair are kind of complementary with bigger players, right? Because the bigger players can take over a part that you can't do.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not saying that the small players can do everything by themselves. At some point, we need to ally with big players. We need them. First of all, sometimes you have pre-qualification requirement. So with only 300 million euro turnover, we cannot pre-qualify to most of the tenders. And they also have the expertise. So let's say we have the agility, we have the ability to talk with the different stakeholders, while the big players, they have sometimes the expertise and the financial robustness. So obviously, when we have a complementary and we manage to collaborate together, it can be very successful.
You mentioned the project EolMed a bit earlier, but there have been some problems, right? It's not that easy to develop that project. Tell us a bit about the difficulties and how you're dealing with them.
Yeah, it's not that easy for sure. EolMed is a pilot project, and the issue with EolMed is that the tariff is not indexed. Today, with most of the renewable energy CFD contract, the price is indexed. That's not the case for EolMed. And well, we have some bad luck. Bankruptcy of Senvion, war in Ukraine, the COVID, the inflation, and so on. So at some point, the capex increased by almost 50%. So it's true that the economical model of EolMed is not very easy to to maintain, and that's why we're working together with our partners, our subcontractors, with the government to find a solution and to finalize the project.
What would be a solution that would be suitable for you?
We are not asking for much. I mean, we just want to finalize the project and not to lose money in the end. So at some point, everybody has to make an effort because, I mean, everybody can lose something, even the industry. So we don't want this project to fail. So we are making a lot of efforts and working hard to find a solution.
All right, great.
Ideally before the elections.
Well, that might be a bit tight.
Yeah, time is counted.
3 days. Well, thank you so much for your insight and good luck with your projects.
Yeah, thank you very much, Lisa.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.
Thank you. Bye-bye. And thank you for listening.